What's up guys, it's Ryu here, and today we're going to be talking about not only Saiyan Day, but we're also going to be talking about the compensation we should be getting for this support item bug that is plaguing global right now, that is causing a lot of players to stop playing the game for the moment. First we're going to go ahead and talk about the small bit of news, which is the Dokkan now that we're going to be watching together as a stream. Yes, I am going to be streaming it. Make sure to look out for Twitter, make sure to follow my Twitter, make sure to sub to the channel, all that type of stuff, so that we're able to watch it together when it comes out. We will be watching Dokkan now. We'll be doing a bit of grinding, I guess, but other than that, yes, this Dokkan now will be for Saiyan Day. JP and Global will be both getting this celebration at the same exact time, so this will give us, the first new look at the new units, the first new look at, all the stuff that might be in there. When they did their Bardock version of it, where they did the Bardock Saiyan Day, they gave us some free-to-play units to grind out, just like the Ginyu Force from before. They gave us a free-to-play LR, they gave us Bardock, then they gave us the meat, which was a new mechanic for Dokkan. Now for this Dokkan now, it most likely will be a revival unit or revive style unit, due to the fact that we've already gotten the update for the revival mechanic so early before the anniversary, and knowing that Saiyan Day is after the 6th anniversary for JP, it is kind of likely that we might be getting a revival character very soon. So we're gonna have to keep our eyes peeled for that. We'll definitely be looking at that when we stream it in a few coming days. But now let's go ahead and talk about the pressing issue, which is the global support item bug. Now this global support item bug, as y'all may know, it has postponed the world tournament. They've said in the little maintenance notes that yes, a bunch of events are up again or not as up, and there are going to be crashes when you use an item on these events, which basically covers 95% of the events and quests in the game. This puts a detriment in grinding and people trying to get certain things done because they can't use support items, things like Super Battle Road, things like Extreme Super Battle Road, things like Infinite Dragon Ball History, things like Boss Rush for those who aren't able to clear it as easy. These are things that a lot of people aren't going to be able to do, especially if there's new players. You're not going to be able to do these events without support items. I know for the more veteran and more longer players, yes, you are going to be able to finish these events fairly easy without items, but some events like the UI Goku stage, in the Spirit Bomb stage in the UI Goku Dokkan event, that's going to be a problem because a lot of people like to use Ghost Ushers there to ensure they don't die from the one-shot Spirit Bomb that he does every turn. It's a problem, and that problem is definitely something that deserves compensation. But are we going to get the famous 300 stone compensation? Well, I'm going to say probably not. I don't think we're going to get as much as 300, but I do think we're going to get an okay amount of compensation, because the reason why I don't think we're getting 300, right? The 300 stones came from this Kefla. Now the thing with this Kefla, as we see on the Dokkan wiki, which I swear this website is amazing, I love it so much. This Kefla, when she came out, her banner was showing that there were rates gone from the banner. There was like certain units that weren't on the list, some units that were missing, some units that were there more than they should be, stuff like that. It was a mess on JP, and this only happened on JP. This was not on global. So when this banner came out, it would say, oh yeah, you don't have Kefla on your rates, so you're never gonna get her basically when you summon. Now of course this was not the case. It was more a fact of you not being able to just see it, and it was just an error in the code for where the visibility of those units were getting messed up. They weren't really gone from your rates of chances of pulling them, but rather just like a visible glitch that you would just see. So this got them, or would have gotten them, in mega trouble, like big trouble, because that is pretty much like breaking the law when it comes to gacha games in Japan. That is not gonna go with anyone. That is really not a good look on your game if you have rates that are showing that people are never going to get a certain character if they summon, no matter how much they summon. So that is a big problem, and that is a fundamental, basically main big issue with the whole game if that were to happen. So 300 stones were gifted to everyone due to that fact that the rates were skewed. The rates looked like they weren't fair, or that you wouldn't be able to get the unit even if you summoned with 1,000,000 stones. Now that of course is one of the two key concepts of Dokkan, as the summoning is basically where they get all their money. Summoning is the most important part. That's how you get your units. That's how you get all the, you know, kais that you need, all that type of stuff. You need, the main point of Dokkan is pretty much the summoning aspect. So of course they had to make sure not only to, you know, fix that problem, they even showed us their code in order to, you know, say that, yo, we messed up, we this was not an actual thing. No matter what, the rates were not skewed, rather it was just a visible glitch. So of course they had to give everyone 300 stones to keep them quiet. They were like, okay, chill out for a second. So yeah, that is a big problem. That was a big problem. They compensated everyone, I think, fairly for that. They even showed their game's code, which I don't think like anybody have thought that they would have done that, but they did all that to ensure that, you know, we stay as basically customers for their game. Now for the situation on global with the support items, I do not think it's as bad as this. You can still play global, like you can still play the game. You can still do Dokkan events, a lot of them actually. I think the only one that you might have trouble on is possibly the Spirit Bomb stage of UI Goku, or any other stage that one shots you if you don't have items. Other than that, and the harder events, which yes, the harder events suck that you can't use support items, because yes, you won't be able to beat them most likely if you don't have any support items. Without those, you can still play the game though. It's not like you cannot play global at all. You can still link level grind. Yes, I know nobody wants to do that, but you still can. You can still grind a bunch of story events. You can still grind a bunch of the challenge things every single day. You can still do Dokkan event medals. Maybe, I guess, you can grind for the 6th anniversary units and all that type of stuff if they're out at the moment. You can still do all that. So I don't think we're going to get 300 stones, because it's not like the whole game is compromised on that one feature of the game, which is the gameplay. Yes, you can still play the game. It's just that some events you won't be able to finish because you don't have items. Now that is still a big problem. It's just not as big of a problem as the summoning mishap that they had a long while back with this physical Kefla. So what I think we're going to do or get for this you know, support item issue is, I think at max, and I mean at max, I think is going to be around 50 stones. 50 stones or around 35 stones. I think that's the best range I have. I would even say that the minimum for them would probably be around 10 stones. I would think that would be a thing. It has to be the minimum of 10 stones, most likely. I think 50 to 10 is like a really generous range, to be honest, because I don't think they're gonna hit the hundreds. I don't think we're gonna hit the 200s, and I don't definitely we're not gonna hit the 300 when it comes to compensation for the support item you know, glitch or bug that we have on global. I don't think it's as big as this issue right here, as this was a fundamental part of their game and it messed up in a really bad way. The support item thing, you can still do a bunch of stuff in the game, you just won't be able to do some of the modes because you can't use support item. I know that sucks, and that's still a big problem. I'm not saying that they should keep it in because of that. I'm saying that you can still play the game technically, and you can still do certain things in the game. So they pretty much are not going to give us 300 stones, because when the summoning issue happened, they had to take away every single banner to ensure that nothing else had that issue. They had to literally shut off half of their game for that issue, and that is a big thing when you shut off half your game. Now if we could not play the game at all, if you could not load up into an event without crashing, now that right there would be something around 300 stones worthy, because guess what, you literally can't play the game, you can't do anything on the game but summon. So if that was the issue, then yes, we would get 300. But since we're still able to play the game, just not use support items, I think we're only gonna get around 50 stones max, and on the lower end probably 10 stones. But other than that, that should be it for y'all. I think that's a fair analysis on what compensation we should get. Now, should we get more? Well, of course everyone wants more free stones. I would like more free stones, but I just don't think we're gonna get that many for this issue for global. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what y'all think compensation we should get for this issue, because I know it's a big take on everyone for how much compensation this is, you know, deserving of. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end. Just remember, we're gonna watch Same Day together when it comes out on the 15th or 16th for different time zones. It's going to be super fun. I can't wait to see Same Day unit. I can't wait to see if I'm a summoner or not, because I'm really saving for the 6th anniversary. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching today. See y'all in the next one, and peace.